What's up, y'all? It's Chael Angel back with a new series for you. It's called Breaking Out of the Prisoned Mind. Again, that's breaking out of the prisoned mind. That is going to help with the foundation, self-evaluation to planned location. First and foremost, I want to thank all of you guys out there for the support. God put this on my heart and I try to put it out for you guys. You guys received it and giving me some awesome feedback, man. It's motivating to know that I got brothers and sisters out there that got my back, because really it's about positivity. It's not about trying to make moves or anything like that. It's about trying to pass something off to my brothers and sisters that can help them become a better version of themselves. I talk about building foundations. It really truly starts with affirmations. So I feel like before we get into the meat and the potatoes of the lesson, that we should always set the tone with an affirmation. I have 3 affirmations that I want us to say together. I hope that you are repeating this, because this is what's going to help tap into the subconscious mind that's going to transform you and help you be who you need to be. The first one is, I, state your full name, was born with the purpose to affect the world. Again, I, state your name, will not allow circumstances or situations to define who I am. I, state your name, will stay positive even when life is not kind to me. Those are the kind of affirmations that you got to say to yourself 3 times a day, because you got to get it deep into that subconscious so that you do it without even knowing that you're doing it. Now we're about to get into the meat and potatoes. So I was online trying to think and praying to God, and I'm like, Lord, I want to simplify this to enough to where a child can get it, Lord. Because really, I want people to be able to turn around and what they learn, to turn around and teach their children. So I had this come to me. In order for you to truly change, you have to have a self-reflection. You need to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself questions like, what's your purpose? Are you happy with being limited version of yourself? And do you feel like in the back of your mind, you should be doing much more than what you're doing today? Those are questions that you need to ask yourself. That's why I said, please look yourself in the mirror when you ask yourself that. And I'm going to give you a few seconds to just process that right now before we move on to the next. Now that I gave you time to have a self-reflection, it goes into what is part of the foundation, and that's acceptance. It's kind of like an alcoholic. Before he can take those steps, he has to know and admit that he has a problem, and then there's change. So when we talk about this, we need to understand you can never change if you don't admit to having a problem. And again, first, you can't change anything without realizing there's change to be made. So it starts like this. There's 3 consciousnesses in your brain. 3. Conscious is for awareness. So you know that the things around you are there. Your subconscious, the things that you program that shape your attitude, your beliefs, and the views that you have. And then there's the unconscious. That's where you normally store traumas or stuff that you suppress that you don't want to deal with. You need to understand that. The subconscious is the main place that you want to be tapping into. Because again, back to telling you that it's cool to be aware, but I want to change what affects my beliefs, my attitude, and what affects me being me. Now it's about committing change, commitment to change. You need to be committed to this. You can't do this like New Year's resolution, talking about I'm going to work out this year and work out for a month and a half, and then you stop. There's no progress in that, so you're not going to get the results that you need. So committing yourself to this is also a part of your transformation. Let me talk to you a little bit about this. Say God comes to you, right? And he gives you a piece of land out in the country. You look at this land, you be like, man, this is prime real estate. Everything, man, dang. This is beautiful property. What would most of you do with this property that God has given you? Most of you would probably let it sit for a while, right? Because you have the hustle and bustle of life. You got the kids in school and sports. You got work. You got bills to pay. So what's going to happen with that land? Eventually, the winds blow in, seeds come in, and weeds grow on your property. It's going to grow up. You're going to go out to the property every once in a while and cut it down because you're trying to appreciate the fact that God gave you that land, right? But eventually, life piles up on you. Bills are backed up. So you kind of forget about that land. And when that land is out there, one day you like, man, let's go out there and see this land that God gave us. But the grass and the weeds have grown up so much, you can't even tell that that's your land anymore because it looks like it's surrounding. But God gave you that land originally as something that was unique to you. Well, he did that to you with your brain. When you were born, it was like that land, beautiful. You know what I mean? With so many options of retaining and becoming. But what happens is you wind up getting seeds put in it. You start off as a kid by that. No, don't do that. You're not big enough. You're not smart enough. All those things are weeds that have been planted in you since you was young. So how do you expect to make moves when your garden has gotten to the point where you can't even tell it's your land no more? Well, I'm gonna tell you, it starts by commitment. Commit yourself to what is right and what is positive. Now, I'm not gonna sit in here and tell you that I don't go through nothing. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I'm perfect. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, I'm committed to being a better version of myself. And that's what's gonna help you be a better version of yourself. Because I expect change from this foundation. Because that's what we're doing right now. You gotta look at life kind of like a garden. And what I mean by that, when people are trying to start a garden, they always try to find the perfect spot for the garden. Well, your perfect spot is right where you stand. Everywhere you go is your garden. So that's where you have to understand the importance of change is. Right now, watching this video, where you are, that's where your garden is. And that's why it's time to uproot these weeds. You don't need nobody. You don't need to go down to the mall and ask for advice. You don't need to run to the store and get advice. You don't need to go nowhere else. You don't need to phone a friend like this is a game show. No, the stuff that is in you already just needs to be nurtured, but it's just covered in weeds. It's just like the property. All the property needs is a little bit of sprucing up, and guess what? Boom, it looks just like you had it when God gave it to you in the beginning. It's not a difficult thing, but it is a process. Again, back to the weight room. When you hit the weights, you don't get swole tomorrow. You get sore the next day, but you don't get swole the next day. But eventually with that commitment, you become a better and bigger version of yourself, stronger. That's why I want you to understand where you are right now and how you're accepting this. You're underway. You're underway. All right, so this is what I need y'all to do. What if you just take a piece of paper, and on that piece of paper, I want you to write down all the negative stuff around you. And I'm gonna be real with you. That means stuff from family too. Don't just put it from friends and coworkers. I'm talking about all the negativity around you. Because you need to know what you are around, what you surround yourself with. That's why your garden is the way that it is. So you need to know what direction and what moves you gotta make to get to where you need to get to. So I need you to write down the negativity. When you write down the negativity, I want you to crumple that negativity out. And if you got a trash can, take it out back, throw it in there and burn that. And for you pyros, man, y'all better get a flashlight, because I don't want to get no calls about houses burning down because I said something. This is the beginning to something great in you. Not me, but you. This is what this is for. This is what this video is for. It's for positivity. You know what I mean? Keep focused. Be strong. Be a better version of yourself. And my final thoughts for you believers, to go out and read Romans 12:2. It says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God and what is good and acceptable and perfect. And for you non-believers, hey man, get out there and get you one of them positive books. But I'm telling you, mine might be a little better, but I'm biased. But yeah, man, I just want to say, man, if you have made it to the end of this video, I'm proud of you, and I'm here to try to help any step of the way, man. I want to be your cousin, your brother, whatever I need to be to recondition your mind so that you can no longer have these limited thoughts. Hey, like I said again, for you guys that don't know, the channel is called Overcoming Limiting Beliefs. So hey, subscribe and leave me something down at the bottom. You know, we family, so let's talk, let's chat. I kind of want to know what's on the people's mind that's watching these videos, man, because you never know, man. I'm not that dude to be thinking that I know something, because I know God uses other people, because you could never do this. Even this video today couldn't be done without a team. Say, man, I'm Chell Angel. Stay positive and be blessed.